embracing the old and new media. Four areas in the evolution of human communication: writing, printing, telecommunications, and interactive communications. Writing. Writing was the main method of video communication for several years. Perhaps writing began as early as 4000 BC in Sumeria. In Everett Rogers' book, Communication Technology, The New Media in Society, 1986, Rogers said that before the invention of the printing machine, books such as the Bible were copied by hand by individuals who had particularly neat handwriting. Printing. Printing is putting words and images on a paper by mechanical means. Printing is used to create books and newspapers. Ink is usually used to create the images. Communications. Telecommunications refers to the exchange of information by electronic and electrical means over a significant distance. A complete telecommunication arrangement is made up of two or more stations equipped with transmitter and receiver devices. A single co-arrangement of transmitters and receivers, called a transceiver, may also be used in many telecommunication stations. Interactive communication is a process of exchange of ideas where the sender and the receiver are both active and has a feedback on one another. In addition, it is dynamic two-way flow of communication through various mediums such as gadgets and computers, which played a vital role in this era of communication. In 1946, computers were invented and made communication easier and more accessible. Computer parts, tools, and gadgets, including the microprocessor, central processing unit, were also invented. 25 years later, Ted Hoff, Frederick Fagin, and Stanley Mason contributed the semiconductor chip. Tradition of old and new media. Traditional media is a form of outbound marketing where businesses send their message out to the consumers. New media is a form of inbound marketing where businesses interact with individuals who sought them out. Inbound marketing tends to provide more willing consumers than outbound marketing. Traditional media include television advertisement, radio advertising, print advertising, direct mail advertisement, billboards and off-site signs, cold calling, door-to-door sales, and banner ads. While new media includes search engine optimization, pay-per-click advertising, content marketing, social media, and email marketing. Highlights of Philippine mass media history. In 1500s, pre-colonial tracings by Bayan or Alibata, known in Unicode as the Tagalog script, is a pre-Hispanic Philippine writing system that originated from the Javanese script Old Kawi. The writing system is a member of Brahmic family and is believed to be in use as early as the 14th century. It continued to be in use during the Spanish colonization of the Philippines up until the late 19th century. The term Baybayin literally means spelling. Closely related scripts are Hanuno, Buhid, and Tagbanwa. In 1811, the print industry and Filipino freedom. This is where Filipino was introduced to books, magazines, and newspapers like La Solidaridad by the Spaniards who colonized the Philippines for about 333 years. When the Filipinos got the freedom, the American then taught English language and other forms of media like newspaper. On the other hand, the Japanese put media ran under tight control until the country was liberated from the Japanese rule. In 1860, the Industrial Age, hand tools and power-driven machines are starting to develop in this age. The printing press spread within several decades to over 200 cities in a dozen European countries. In the 16th century, the presses spreading farther afield, their output rose tenfold to an estimated 150 to 200 million copies. The operation of a press became synonymous with the enterprise of printing and lent its name to a new branch of media, the press. In 1890, the broadcast industry. American colonization left a mark on the press and shaped its style. a florid lingua, a neutral attitude paired with the contribution of opinionated and popular communists. Asia's first radio stations were found back then, possible as the Philippine broadcast media was not owned or tightly controlled by the government as it was all over the rest of the continent. In 1987, the European film import, the cinematography film camera and projector invented by the Lumiere brothers came through the Spanish soldier named Carlo Naquera. Naquera showed several Spanish-language films to select audiences in 1987. In the American colonial, imported films from America were shown in the early theaters in Manila during the early 90s. That they believed the film is universal and powerful medium of information and communication dissemination. In 1965, Marcos resumed censorship and Gomez. Ferdinand Marcos ordered the closure of all newspapers and broadcasting stations when he declared martial law and abolished Congress in 1972. He wanted to deprive media oligarchs from power, hold journalists and publishers off to prison. When some newspapers outlets were open under strict government supervision, media was owned by either Marcos' relatives or friends or his cronies, surveyed by military censors and instructed by mass media to not cover controversial critical stories. In 1980, the electronic age, broadcast or storage media that take advantage of electronic technology. They may include television, radio, internet, fax, CD-ROMs, DVD, and any other medium that requires electricity or digital encoding of information. The term electronic media is often used in contrast with print media. 1994, local online media. Benji Tan, who was working for Comnet, a company that supplied Cisco routers to PhilNet project, established the Philippines' first connection to the internet at the PLDT Network Center in Makati City. Shortly thereafter, he posted a short message to the Usenet news group to alert Filipinos overseas that a link had been made. As of March 29, 1994, unfortunately 2 days late due to slight technical difficulties, the Philippines is now connected. The Information and Digital Age. During the information age, the digital industry creates a knowledge-based society surrounded by a high-tech global economy that spans over its influence on how the manufacturing throughout and the service sector operate in an efficient and convenient way. Therefore, this evolution of technology in daily life and social organization has led to the fact that the modernization of information and communication processes has become the driving force of social evolution.